Hi, I'm Cookie Masterson, and that was the Paradipop that has the same exact voice as me. So, are you two ready for some down and dirty trivia, or would you just rather mud wrestle? There's your hardware. If you think an opponent doesn't know the answer, hit your screw button, and you'll force them to answer immediately. If they miss it, you win big. And your wrong answer of the game is being sponsored by
Land McNally's Incorrect Maps. They'll get you to the general area of where you need to go.
Sniff out our sponsor's wrong answer of the game and you'll end up with a great prize and serious cash. Alright, we're taking off.
Get ready, time to question.
First up, you've seen one ball, you've seen them both. If a baseball pitcher threw as many consecutive strikes as there are consecutive strikes bowled in a perfect game of bowling, how many total batters would he strike out? 3 batters, 4 batters, 5 batters, or 6 batters? Players 1 and 2? To bowl a perfect game, you need to get 12 consecutive strikes. If a baseball pitcher threw that many strikes in a row at 3 strikes per batter, they would strike out 4 total batters. And the level of athleticism it takes to throw a strike in baseball and a strike in bowling is roughly the same. No, seriously, I've seen people at the bowling alley bowling while actually attached to life-saving medical devices.
I'm never gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Tell you so.
And on its way, a quarter till turkey lurkey time. Speaking of bowling, I recently bowled 3 strikes in a row, and the bowling alley gave me an actual baby turkey. Which is just great because now I have to name it. So, what would be an appropriate name for my young male turkey? Tommy Lee Wishbones, Bryant Gobble, Jake Gyllenclaws, or Carl Feathers? Player 1. As much as I desperately want to name my turkey Carl Feathers, it just doesn't make sense. Player 2. An adult male turkey is called a Tom, but a young male turkey is called a Jake. Now I just need to get a second turkey to be his sister Maggie Gyllenclaws. She'll have some moderate success as a turkey, but Jake will be a much bigger turkey star.
Dance with me, disco 3.
How about the dog goes bow chicka bow wow, and it's a dis or dat? Player 1. Not such a great score there. Why don't you play this dis or dat? I'm going to read off 7 titles, and for each one I want you to tell me if it's a section in Alfred Kinsey's Sexual Behavior in the Human Male, or a section in Sandy Blackburn's The Everything Dog Grooming Book. If it's about sex, press the X button. If it's about dog grooming, press the B button. Player 2, lock in your answer before player 1, because if player 1 gets it wrong and you get it right, you steal the cash. Okay, we're off. Techniques in start 'em young. Animal contacts. Smooth trends. Now where did I put that? Alice. Itchy rear. Woof. It looks like they both have a chapter titled Fluffing. This one's called Your Skull is Robin Thicke. So, you know that Robin Thicke song, Blurred Lines? Makes me wonder if he has bad vision. What might an optometrist say if seeing blurred lines meant that Robin Thicke has 20/40 vision? Your vision is 20% worse than 20/20. Your vision is... Player 1, you've been screwed. You got 5 seconds to pick an answer. Having 20/40 vision means something at 20 feet looks like it would if it were 40 feet from someone with 20/20 vision. So it's half as good. I would feel bad for Robin thinking he had poor eyesight. He'd think he was looking at a stunningly gorgeous woman in his entourage, but in reality, she'd just be very, very pretty. Poor guy. Player 2, that was your screw, wasn't it? Here we have special delivery. I'm expecting a food delivery any second now. No, that should be it. Although the sound is coming from this suitcase.
Special delivery for Cookie Masterson.
One's made of skin, one's made of wood, so who's the devil?
Not me.
Billy, I sure hope you didn't mess up my pizza order.
No, Trottlin. I just guessed what you trottedly ordered. Statistically speaking, what is the most popular pizza topping in America? Not counting cheese. Mushrooms, bacon, pepperoni, or green peppers?
Player 2.
Whoa, whoa!
Player 1.
Pepperoni is by far the most popular pizza topping in the U.S.
And yep, a pepperoni pizza is exactly what I ordered.
Thanks for your business, sir, and I'd appreciate a sizable tit.
What?
A tit! You should give me a big tit.
I don't... Oh, tip! Tip, a big tip!
Boy, they got the title Who's the Dunny exactly right.
That brings a close to round 1. Remember, in round 2, every question is worth double. And keep in mind, the wrong answer of the game is still there for the taking. Okay then, here we go. Here's what I like to call literacy for her. So, have you heard of this term, chick lit? Apparently, any book written by a woman gets lumped into this category, which I think is really demeaning. Why can't it be called babe lit? Anyway, using this chick lit logic, which of these books is not chick lit? Gone with the Wind, To the Lighthouse, The French Lieutenant's Woman, or... Player 2, you're screwed. You got 5 seconds to pick an answer. Sucks to be you. Player 1, your screw worked out. Don't stop there, get some more cash. Player 1, Gone with the Wind, To the Lighthouse, and Atlas Shrugged were written by Margaret Mitchell, Virginia Woolf, and Ayn Rand, respectively. John Fowles, the only non-chick, wrote The French Lieutenant's Woman. John Fowles' work belongs in the great genre of prose known as lit.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Coming up, rhythm method acting. You know how people tell actors to break a leg? Well, which actor might have been able to play his role more realistically if he had actually literally broken a leg? Cary Grant in North by Northwest, Jimmy Stewart in Rear Window, Orson Welles in Citizen Kane, or Player 2? Could be worse, you know, in theory. Player 1. If he wanted to be all method actor, Jimmy Stewart could have broken his leg in real life to better portray his character in Rear Window, a man with a broken leg who spied on his neighbors with a camera. So, if you have a broken leg and you spy on your neighbors, it's considered a classic movie. But if your leg isn't broken, you're some kind of pervert. Whatever.
Follow me down to the sea.
Here's one for you. Cramming for my rectal exam. If I get my prostate exam in the prostrate position, what would my doctor say? Get on your side and spread those cheeks. Back on the ground and spread those cheeks. Stand up and spread those cheeks. Or stomach on the ground and spread those cheeks. Player 1. I think you know it's coming. Player 2. Prostrate is a position where you're lying flat on the ground with your face downward. That seems really uncomfortable, but I don't know why exactly. I can't quite put my finger in it. This one's known as consumer retorts. If there were a new edition of the book Eat, Pray, Love that specifically targeted primary consumers, what would it be called? Eat Plants, Pray, Love, Eat Meat, Pray, Love, Eat Plants and Meat, Pray, Love, or Eat Sunlight? Player 2. Player 1. It's so obvious. A primary consumer is any animal that eats grass or other plants. And let me tell you, consuming Eat, Pray, Love really fills you up. In your soul. Next up, auto-tuning. If Jay-Z is in an Ottoman Empire state of mind, what might he be thinking about? Cruising down the street with the Mongols, sipping life casually with the Huns, sitting courtside with the Aztecs, or Player 1. Hey, it's a hard knock life, deal with it. Player 2. The Ottoman Empire was established by the Turks in the 13th century and existed for over 600 years. And with Jay-Z on his Ottoman throne, he'd still have 99 problems, but a place to rest his feet ain't one. Brace yourself for the attack. When you see two clues that match, press your A button. 2,000 big ones if you're right, 2,000 gone if you're wrong. And most importantly,
Remember the clue.
it's gotta be a match that fits this clue. Get a life. What kind of life are they leading? Good luck. Hey, Player 2, I got news for you. If you were trying to lose, you can't even do that well. Here's another late-breaking news item.
You don't know Jack!
I am Cookie Masterson, and I am just 60 credit hours short of earning a master's degree. By the looks of you two, I'd say smart money is on the under. Everyone's got a nice little screw. If you think another player is clueless, screw them and make them answer immediately. If they miss it, you win extra cash. And the wrong answer of the game is brought to you by
Luxury tinfoil hats. When you're paranoid about aliens and keeping up with the latest fashion, luxury tinfoil hats.
If you happen to find our sponsor's wrong answer of the game, you'll be rewarded with big prizes and cash. Alright, let's do this thing.
Get ready, time for question.
Let's begin with, this shower is golden. On the occasions that I bathe, I only use Zest soap. It's literally the only soap that gets me zestfully clean. If the way Zest soap got you zestfully clean, or the process cooks used to collect zest, what would it do? Crush you, burn you, gut your insides, or rip off your skin? Player 1. Ah! Player 2. The zest of a citrus fruit is the fruit's rind, and it's collected by cutting, scraping, or grating the peel. Yeah, I think I'll just stick to my usual method of bathing, running naked through the local car wash.
Oh, Mama, gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Tell you so.
Let's try Go to the Lights. If Miller Lights had the same properties as lights, what might be its slogan? Tastes like a wave, never a particle. Tastes like a particle, never a wave. Tastes like a particle, goes down smooth like a wave. Or tastes great, no particles or waves. Not much time left. Player 1. Good effort. Good effort. Player 2. Lights has a dual nature. It contains properties of both particles and waves. And the relationship between light and beer is all explained in Einstein's drunken paper. What the f*** are you looking at?
Dance with me, Disco 3.
May I introduce old Saint Jeselnik? So, comedian Anthony Jeselnik has a show on Comedy Central that's just about being offensive. It's even called the Jeselnik Offensive. Speaking of which, if Anthony Jeselnik made a joke about an offensive fencing move, what might be the setup? You ever see a priest impay himself? My girlfriend says I saber too much. Piss off, blind kid. The screw is in you, player 2. 5 seconds to make a choice. Hey, way to be wrong. Player 1, that was a successful screw. Why not pick up a few more bucks? Player 1, a saber, epee, and foil are all types of swords in fencing. A flesh is an offensive attack. If you ask me, fencing masks are pretty offensive to flies. Come on, their eyes aren't that ugly. Take a stab at Men Are From Mars, M&Ms are also from Mars. And it's a this or that. Player 2, your score's looking a little thin. You take this one and try and fatten it up. I'm going to read off 7 names, and for each one I want you to tell me if it's a spacecraft sent to Mars by NASA, or a candy owned by Mars Incorporated. If it was sent to Mars, press the X button. If it's owned by Mars, press the B button. Player 1, select your answer before player 2, because if you get it right and player 2 gets it wrong, you get that cash. Alrighty then, here it comes. Eclipse. Milky Way. Orbit. Mars Express. Galaxy. Tracker. Curiosity. Yuck, something tasted weird in the middle of that. A lot of candy is named after parts of outer space because that's where nougat comes from. Little known fact. 5 fingers! It's time for No Rhyme or Reason. What do author John Updike and Eminem have in common? Both are using pseudonyms, both have won Pulitzers, both are famous for a character named Rabbit. Player 2, let this be a lesson to you. Player 1, author John Updike is known for his series of Rabbit books, which follows the life of a small-town Pennsylvania man. And Eminem portrayed a rapper called B-Rabbit in his movie 8 Mile. I wonder what it would sound like if an actual rabbit tried to rap. Yeah, something like that. That'll wrap up round 1. Keep in mind, in round 2, everything is worth twice as much. And don't forget about your screws. You want to win, don't you? Say hello to Et Toy Brute. Which of these classic toys best embodies the phrase E pluribus unum? Operation, Skip It, Voltron, or Tickle Me? Oh, you're screwed, player 1. You got 5 seconds. How do you say, no? Player 2, you handle that screw very well. Time to twist the knife. Player 2? Were you thinking of this one? E pluribus unum translates to out of many, one, and Voltron was originally formed when 5 mechanical lions assembled to make one big robot. I always felt bad for the lion that had to be the crotch. You know Voltron's enemies are going right for the crotch every time.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bag.
Try this on for size. Family splatters.
What's the book that you listen to order that goes in and see if you are right? Question.
And there's some extra allowance money for a right answer. Arrange these families in order of fewest to most children. Brady family, Von Trapp family, Duggar family. Duggar, Brady, Von Trapp, Brady, Duggar, Brady, Von... Players 1 and 2, the kids are not alright. Let me show you something. There are 6 children in the Brady family, 7 in the Von Trapp family, and currently 19, yes, 19 children in the Duggar family. Hey, imagine all those kids in a daddy day camp led by, say, Cuba Gooding Jr. I think you'd have a really funny movie there. Think about it, Hollywood.
Follow me down to the sea.
Next, you ain't nothing but a hound god. If Elvis Presley had constructed Graceland in the original city of Memphis, what room might he have built instead of the Jungle Room? The Sahara Desert Room, the Australian Outback Room, the Amazon Rainforest Room, or the Scottish Highlands Room? Player 2, congratulations, not. Player 1, goodbye, mate. Where's that confounded right answer? Memphis is the ancient capital of Egypt, located in the eastern Sahara Desert. And everybody in ancient Memphis used to go on and on about how their barbecue was the best. Take a good look at the anatomically correct X-Men. Okay, listen up. X-Men's Wolverine has 3 adamantium claws on each hand. So, tell me this. How many extra adamantium claws would X-Men's Wolverine have to grow on each hand to match the amount of claws on an actual Wolverine's paw? 1 extra on each hand, 2 extra on each hand, 3 extra on each hand, or no extra, he has the right of player 2? Well, I've seen worse. Player 1. Wolverine has 3 adamantium claws on each hand, but an actual Wolverine has 5, so he'd have to grow 2 extra per hand. Or he could just change his name to the 3-toed sloth, whichever's easier. Here's a good one. Stringing you along. Having a relationship with which of these characters would not come with no strings attached? Lamb Chop, Triumph, the Insult Comic Dog, Howdy Doody, or Alf? Player 1. Player 2. You got it. No, you didn't. It was begging to be picked. Howdy Doody is a marionette, meaning he's controlled by strings. The others are all puppets, so dating Howdy Doody would come with strings attached. Howdy Doody also comes in a lot of baggage. Step right up to the Jack Attack. When you see 2 clues that match, press your A button. Okay, if that's how you want it, here's the clue. It's Ladies' Night. And what's the lady's name? Good luck. Got it! Player one, I'm gonna call you the winner here, but know that it has nothing to do with your performance. It's just because I'm required to have someone win, even if they don't break 0. It's also required that I say,
You don't know Jack!